Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we're back to LEGO Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars. We've got... It's a new day. In fact, I accidentally took a day off, not that I meant to. And yeah, I'm getting shot at. So we've relaunched the thing, and apparently I cannot break that. And we ended up here. So then the question is, where is here? And I just played for an entire level and didn't have anywhere as much lag as I am right now. I played specifically, what I did is I unplugged my controller thinking maybe it's the controller, and played with the keyboard and mouse, which doesn't work. Actually, you don't use the mouse at all. It's all keyboard. You WASD, and then on top of that, some other buttons with the right hand on the keyboard. So, does not work well at all. Is this a Sith guy? Yes, he is. So, I'm not sure if there's any other Sith things, but let's go ahead and do this. That blew something up, but I'm not sure exactly what though. See, like, there's pieces right here. And we know there's a red brick around here. And so, yeah, playing with the keyboard instead of a controller did seem to slightly reduce the lag. Maybe. But they didn't get rid of it. Nothing gets rid of it. I think inherently there's just an issue with the game. I should turn on vertical sync too, because this is definitely something I'm supposed to hit. Like, I just don't buy the argument that I'm supposed to jump up here and fire blindly, because I'm not even hitting anywhere near it. So unless there's a missile guy that I'm supposed to be interacting with, that doesn't make a lot of sense either. So first things first here, let's go to video settings, vertical sync on, which will only increase the lag. There must be something there. And we broke that one thing, but that didn't do anything at all. And see, we're just kind of wasting time right now. I need to start doing the bounty hunter missions. Let's see, is Plo Koon somebody important? We need a heavy weapons clone trooper, and then switch to the other guy. And I'm just gonna see if Plo Koon might be like a character, but nah, he's not anybody important. He's just a Jedi. I thought he might be a bounty hunter. So we need to fly over to the other ship, and we need to then like, see, this doesn't make sense. It's not targeting anything, and because I can't lock on anything. And see, this looks like a outline of Darth Vader. So 1, 2, 3 comes down, And then you have this outline of Darth Vader right here. And nothing happens. And, oh, by the way, breaking this did nothing also. So, thanks game, thanks for being obscure and not making any sense. We just need any plane we can take. This might be the right plane to take. Because we have this thing over here, this ship that almost certainly is where the mission starts. I guess I could have gone to the rec room too, and like maybe with the mission, with the other with the turrets you could break that. I don't know, but again, that has nothing to do with anything, and I assume I should just probably take off vertical sync for just to reduce the lag a little bit. And we're doing a lot of setup here, and frankly I want to try to kind of rush through this game and not succeeding at all, really, if we're gonna be honest. I don't know what's gonna really happen at this point with content ID and copyrights, because I have a whole secondary Star Wars game that ideally the right thing to do would have been to score times 8, can't afford that. The right thing to do would have been to play both games back and forth, but then that would have been very confusing as far as just my paperwork and scheduling of videos, which I haven't done in a very long time either. This is a full-on story level. Okay, so sorry for that 7 minutes of setup. Castle of Doom. So still very much don't want to read any of this, and kind of disappointed that this isn't better integrated in the story mode. Like, if this is gonna be something where we play as the bad guys, I kind of understand that, but it still should have unlocked itself on the main menu. Things in this game are hidden all over the place, and it's just a terrible game design or hub world design. I mean, imagine if most games you missed potentially a third to a half of the game just because you didn't find the right platform to interact with. Okay. See, and that's kind of cool. And then these bad guys are showing... Is that Jabba the Hutt or his father? I don't know. It's probably Jabba the Hutt. I still like to push the idea jokingly that Jabba the Hutt was actually in love with Princess Leia and just didn't know how to healthily represent that, so that's why he kidnapped her and tied her up. So this interaction with Jabba didn't go well. Looks like we got a couple of these guys who we didn't even see in the main game. We did see in LEGO Star Wars 1 and 2. Or as we watched it, or as I played it, the Complete Saga, which combines 1 and 2. And let's see, Robino. Again, I think I may actually have Robino here. In fact, this may very well unlock Robino, which then probably unlocks a good amount of things in a lot of places. Look how CG Jabba is. He's also kind of small, too. So maybe he's younger. And then there's somebody dancing, and I don't know if their dancing is controlling these pigmen or if they're just dancing. It's an interesting sound it's making, for sure. Let's see. And nobody has an explosive thing, so we'd have to come back in free play and, I imagine, collect all these. Seems like these guys are fighting themselves even. Oh, and I see how he controls the door now. Interesting. I think it would help the... is that a womp rat? Is that what they're called? Wampums or womp rats? That... yeah, this would totally help the main story to have levels like this instead of those real-time strategy levels. So the gameplay is in there here, it's just in the wrong places and displayed terribly. They could have gotten rid of the real-time strategy and done nothing else and it still would have been better. But I imagine they were so committed with the idea that they felt the need to continue to put it out as it is. So we've got this gold thing, and I don't know how I'm gonna do that. Let's see. We need the other guy to use the Sith powers. I guess that was it. You can see that if I could jump higher, there's a collectible up there. So if I stand here and hover this up, I mean, you could hover it up. So you have to take out some waves here, and that wasn't clearly being made obvious. Let's come over here. Oh, we're making a hamburger. And then we gotta kill him. I think these pig guys should complain to Jabba about their standard uniform. Seems like they're wearing not much for a desert planet, but maybe they're happy to not wear much. Alright, Robina, open the door. Nice little Lego hamburger concept there. Not a lot of work to actually build that in the real world. And that I wish there was a lot more examples of things like that in the Lego series. So many things are faked and cheated, or there's just nothing that it's very unlikely you'd ever be able to build the things you're seeing, because it's either way too many custom pieces or way too many pieces in general. Like this ship here, you could probably get a kit, almost certainly they've sold a kit with all the pieces to build this, but particularly the sails, you're not going to have extra sails pieces or pieces of cloth to use as sails in Lego. Those are very, very custom pieces. Uh, a lot of the rest of this, if you had enough brown pieces. I just looked at the new release this year of what Lego's going to be doing, and it's going very heavily into the Lego Batman movie stuff. There's a Sandman set for relatively cheap. Everything's relatively cheap in Lego. That is mostly brown pieces, and I imagine that set will sell more than they expect because collectors and my own creators that need brown pieces will buy it. There is also a blue creativity set with just blue pieces in a similar way. I imagine that will sell. They're starting a new series, or continuing a series I was unfamiliar with, called Brickheads that looks pretty bad. I finally have turned around to Lego Friends in a lot of ways, and Lego DC Superheroes, which is kind of Lego Friends but with the DC superheroes. Frankly, I've kind of just admitted it to myself that even though I like the nostalgia of the minifigs, the dolls of the Lego Friends series just look better, and the animals in the Lego Friends series since they look more human, they kind of look better. And so I've finally turned it around. There's still the same argument as always, that the idea of them having to create a new line of Legos because they figured girls didn't play with Legos or don't have the imagination possibly to play with square character mini kits is still kind of an insulting line. But I mean, how many times can you make that same argument? And at the end of the day, the Lego Friends series might very well bring in some new people to play with Legos, which is good for Lego, and I assume generally good for creativity in total. So we're building this ship right now. If 50,000 studs, 52,000 studs, then we gotta charge up the ship. Mostly the only thing that I think I'll be getting this year is, if I can afford it, are the modular buildings on the expert level. Doesn't really look like there's anything else that I'm too interested in. The Pirates of the Caribbean ship that they have released doesn't look very good to me. Here. Oh, I didn't realize we were controlling this. We are controlling it, but we can only go forward. And so we're just crashing our way out of here. So that's fine by me. Just trying to catch up on the modular city things will be quite expensive. Over the year, I'm trying to budget and buy a bunch during the Black Friday sale. They gave them a parking ticket. That's funny. They didn't focus the camera on it enough. And we're still at this level. How long have we been playing? It's been about 8 minutes. It could have easily been the whole level just to escape, and then they could have given us another level. And see, I think we are actually in a real-time strategy location. If we could zoom really, really far back this way. Well, I guess that's not the case, but there was an area that certainly looked like this. The one more iffy thing I would like to get from Legos is the Disney Castle and the mini kits, the minifig sets on their own. Like I would like to just start collecting the minifigs because these special minifigs that are sold in the blind bags are unique ones that you don't see in sets. Normally you just get like normal people. They've introduced the baby, and a new set has the baby in it. And they're introducing a new thing. They just today announced that they're going to do a Women of NASA set, but for minifigs, which that's cool. They were doing a Women of Science one that didn't work too well because it was kind of just these little. It was like one minifig, and then look, I am totally upside down. Okay, let's play the game upside down then. How did that happen? This is a bug. This should not happen at all. So you'd get like a scientist or an archaeologist, and they would have like a microscope and a desk, and that's it. Where ideally I'd either just want the minifig and it be a little bit cheaper for a female scientist, or I would like a full laboratory, one or the other. That's ridiculous. I wonder if it's gonna set itself right or not. It probably won't. If it flipped completely there. And here we're having the lockup again. So the Women in NASA series is just, I think, 4 famous female NASA people, which obviously I think I would guess, and this is just a guess, that there's been a publicity stunt going on to highlight the women in NASA. I don't know if that is coming directly from NASA or coming from some book that came out, because there's been a lot of TV and shows talking about females in NASA, and it all just kind of has happened suspiciously close to it themselves. But the set's fine because it's just the minifigs in a nice little like shadow box design with their named custom nameplates, and the minifigs are just there. And see, that's the kind of set that you could easily buy 2 of, because you might actually want the minifigs for some other creation and also keep one in the display case. So I need 2 vehicles? I have not seen 2 vehicles. I really hate this. Why can't they just... I guess they don't want to put bushes or rocks all along the face of something that block it off and make it feel unnatural. But I really don't like the idea that I could just accidentally walk forward and fall off the screen. Maybe if they just put an invisible wall there. I think I'm usually not a fan of invisible walls, but honestly, in this case, it might be better to do it that way. And I'm confused because... Oh, that's what I had to do. I had to hit that pile. And from knocking that one pile down... And see, I don't think I can hit this. I think I would need the troops. And see, Robino is flying the other one upside down. Still. And we'll hop in here. Totally upside down. I've never seen this happen before. This thing moves too fast. And is this gonna be the end of the level? Nope. This flipped over finally. So we've done nearly 25, 20, 23 perhaps. Minutes of playing this level, and it just doesn't seem like it stops. Now, in comparison to a real-time strategy level, if you just want to give me the sandy dunes of this planet near the Sarlacc pit, I assume that's what we're heading here, and I don't know if we're supposed to fall into the Sarlacc pit and get eaten or what. Well, there's our ship. So let's see what's going on here. Let's see. If this finishes the level, then I'm fine with that. Oh. See, and so we end up fighting them with their let's see, 2 lightsabers and then take him out. Ah, I see. So we're supposed to take our lightsaber away from her. I assume I'm not supposed to use the I guess I have to play as the bad guy to get both lightsabers. This idea happens a lot in the gameplay, and it probably doesn't happen as much in the cartoon. So do we take her? Yeah, we take her lightsaber away from her, and then we attack Anakin with it. Which is interesting. And is it both? Does it work both ways? See, definitely suffering from a lack of understanding of just what the game wants us to do, and I imagine this comes right down to a have you watched the cartoon or not, and very well may just turn into have you watched the specific episode of the cartoon. Here there's a purple stud in here, so I'll go ahead and take that for an easy 20,000 studs. And I don't know where their little baby Jar Jar went. And you cut off his backpack? And is there a baby in it? It's just full of diapers. Oh, so the bad guys seem like maybe they were in charge of assassinating the baby? And I failed. Okay. Interesting storyline, really. And now we have a Magna Guard, which is still not Robino, but seems like he'll work. We also have the Magna Guard Starfighter, which doesn't seem like it's a weapon that we really need. And we still have the game locking up like crazy. And we still need 2 million studs. I've done a terrible job here, but not an unnatural job of purchasing things. Uh, the game's economy is broken if the only people that can collect everything without a massive amount of grinding and replaying levels are people that specifically know that they are supposed to uh, save up for the score multipliers and not purchase anything else. And it's even worse here since the buttons are in the wrong places. And so we've now unlocked something, but I don't know what. It said we had unlocked something, and I don't see it. And Castle of Doom, Tatooine. Oh, is that the only mission? Interesting. So I unlocked something, but I didn't actually unlock something. And one of the planets here that Tatooine turned out to be Tatooine, and it just has Castle of Doom. And see, there's one more planet here that I imagine is something too. But we could also fly to Tatooine, which I don't think we could have. No, we are already at Tatooine. Well, this is odd, and this probably means we need to in the recording after next, decide to, like, this now seems to be available, and this is still locked. So the recording after next, we need to just start doing these RTS things, and we'll just do it like we did before, and we'll select all the red ones, which I bet we have to do all these red ones first, and finish the real-time strategy land battles, and then once we've done all the red ones, I imagine we'll unlock the blue ones, and then that will unlock this section, and then we'll do all that. There's, I guess, no more mission selects, and we've got the two characters we probably would want. And so next recording, though, we will run around everywhere and see if we can unlock some things with Robino or whoever the Magna Guard is, because he seems like he's good enough to unlock some things, and that should help a little bit, but probably not that much. We still we only have 4 of 18 red bricks. We're at 43.5%, so we haven't even done half of the game according to that metric. We need another 1,000,000 studs, which is going to be a pain to get, and we need another 88 gold bricks. It's a lot of work. We've done so much, and we've been playing for almost 12 hours now, and honestly, this probably should have only been a 10-hour game. Like, I could totally get it down to a 10-hour game and then sell it for $10, which is probably what I paid for it, if not less. And then $1 an hour is not a terrible argument to make, but this is going to turn into a 30 or 60 hour game, and many of those hours are not going to be fun. Anyways, that's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.